So I just saw this thing stop recording. I think I saw it happen out of the corner of my eye for absolutely no good reason, unless maybe my sun visor tapped the screen. I do have my sun visor kind of hanging low. I guess I don't need it now. I'm headed northbound. I won't be going directly into the sun, I don't think, in the rest of this journey. But yeah, I had it pretty bad coming out of my alley. Anyway, just continuation from the last one because the damn thing stopped recording for no good reason. Can't wait till I finally get software where I can piece these things together before I upload them. When I have them cut off like that and they continue like this. Anyway, it's 6:09 p.m. Tuesday, September 14th, 2021. I'm still on my way to Union Jack for my first show. And as I was stating, like, it's always the thing I gotta make sure that the staff understands on any night that I'm doing karaoke. Even if they're accustomed to shutting off the TVs, they don't do that when I'm there. Because they will generally hit the power button, and then the next day when the bar opens, some other person will hit the power button, and switching the input is just not in their... It's not like it's rocket science to do it, but they just don't know to do it. And they'll be like, oh, the TV is broken, and they call their boss, and their boss ends up trying to get a hold of me. Hey, what did you do with our TVs? Nothing. Somebody other than me must have turned them off. Occasionally it's me, but generally speaking, I'm pretty good about not shutting them off without switching the input back to sports programming first. Anyway, so that's what I was trying to do at the end of like my extended dry run on Tuesday of last week. So actually a week ago today, and I'm on the tablet, and I could not figure out how to get it from the audio application, the audio screen, which I wasn't running through the audio. It wasn't working then. As far as I know, it's still not working now. For the input for me on the stage. And I was trying to switch it over to the one that controls the TVs, which he had showed me how to work, and I had worked it a little bit, and it seemed to work. I could not figure out how to get the other screen, and in trying to do it, I landed on the screen that controls the security video. So that's how I know it's on the tablet. Anyway, I ended up showing, at some point, going and getting at him and asking him how to do it, and he showed me, and of course now I don't remember exactly how he did it. Because he did it super, super fast, and then he didn't, I'm one of those person that has to be, for me to learn something, somebody has to show it to me slowly, like I'm an idiot. Like I'm mentally ill, because I'm mentally ill. And then switch it back how it was, and then watch me while I do it myself, and do it right. If we do that process, I learn, it seems slow, but honestly I learn pretty fast like that. As long as I'm taught things in that manner, my level of retention is usually really, really, really good. But he just basically did it, and did it faster than I could take in what he was doing, and didn't really explain what he was doing as he was doing it. And then landed on the other screen, and it wasn't the most important thing, so he switched it. And then he switched the TVs back, and he gave me a chance to do it myself, but I'm pretty solid on how to do that. Anyway, so back to Adam in the tablet in the grand opening, and me feeling good and being social after having a nice tall draft Carlsberg. He comes in and is trying to. There's an NFL game going on. It was the Thursday night football. Thursday night football is on now. And I need other people to keep me up on what's going on with football, because I am not a football fan. So, and take away my man card for that if you want, whatever. But yeah, never been a football fan. I don't think I will ever be a football fan. Occasionally there's something going on with a specific team that I'm focusing on, but generally speaking, I could give a shit that it's football season. Other than, as a KJ, if I'm working a Monday night show or a Thursday night show or a Sunday night show, I kind of have to work around it. The only thing that matters to me about Thursday night football is I need to be right now, I need to be into Volux a little bit early, because when I get in there, the big screen's going to be pulled down, and I don't know exactly what time the game ends, but it may end before 9, and it's definitely to my advantage to have the karaoke show start the moment the game ends, and to have the sound's going to be coming through the board, so I need to switch that over. Other than that, I could give a shit who's playing or how the game goes. Not into football. But I do remember it was Dallas Cowboys and the New England Patriots. which I, as much as I'm not into football, I'm cognizant of people who are into football enough to know that those are both very popular teams in the Valley, both teams that have very strong fan bases in the Valley. And to be honest, I can't say that Phoenix leans more towards Dallas and more towards New England. I mean, there's a lot of Patriots fans in the Valley, in spite of the fact that's completely across the country, just because they've been, Super Bowl champions so many times in recent years, and Tom Brady. Of course, when I think of Tom Brady and the Patriots, I think of the whole Deflategate scandal. I don't know. I'm kind of puzzled how people get to go back and continue to play after being caught in such a big cheating scandal. But nobody really mentions that about Tom Brady anymore. Now he's just the greatest quarterback of all time. Let's pretend that he was never a cheater, I guess. I don't know. I don't get it, but I'm not a football fan. Anyway, so that game was on, and obviously a lot of people on the patio were trying to perhaps hear it. And so Alan comes in with the tablet, and I think what he was trying to do, not that he said it, but I think what he was trying to do was to turn the house music, which is through some kind of streaming or whatever, some kind of service. It's pretty decent. It's commercial free. It's mostly just pretty generic, played out but extremely popular classic rock. I personally find that to be kind of redundant, but enjoyable. It's like, it's not going to play anything that excites me, but it's not going to play anything that I don't like either. Just, it's going to play some stuff I'm kind of just sick of hearing constantly. But anyway, yeah, so that was on. It sounded fine. And I think what he was trying to do was to turn that off and then bring up the sound for the game. So 3 TVs in the back there that had that game on it. And he's trying to get the app to work, and it's just lagging in a huge way. Now, I don't know if it's just because the Wi-Fi just is not as clean of a signal on the patio, if that's part of it, or if it's a matter of, the tablet, because there were so many customers in the bar that with all these different people using Wi-Fi, and then whatever of it is used, for internal purposes, credit card machines or whatever, that there was just so little bandwidth left that those apps were lagging. I don't know exactly how those apps work, if they're web-based or, I really don't know the details of them. But obviously there's a lot of data that exchanges back and forth between the tablet and whatever device in the audio-video rack that's completely across the building that controls it. At any rate, it was lagging in a big way, and he just couldn't really get it to, for a while, it just wasn't even drawing the screen for the app. It was just, very, very non-functional. And, hey, I'm almost to my exit. And he was trying to select it, and I saw him, and he even asked me, and I'm like, yeah, as far as I can tell, you're doing it right. It just doesn't seem like it's responding to your touch, though. And it looked to me like he had done the button, by button I mean areas on the screen, touchscreen buttons they're not real buttons, but they're buttons. But he had touched it looked to me like he had touched the right buttons, and they look like they have they kind of light up when you touch them to show it's selected, as if they were real buttons with real LEDs in them. And the one for the house music was dark, like he had shut it off, and the one for the particular football game, the game with the Dallas versus New England game was it was lit up, and he was trying to adjust the volume, and it would not, even though he was moving the sliders, it wasn't changing the volume in the room that we were at, and he was definitely using the right slider. It's clearly labeled patio. And what we were hearing was, fortunately, it wasn't loud, because it would have been really annoying if it was loud, but it was at kind of a lower level, but it just was mixing the sound of the house music and the sound of the game, and you couldn't really, if you listened to it, you couldn't really make out one or the other. It just kind of came out like quiet noise, and that the saving grace is it was pretty quiet. It's not my job to solve that problem. I'm actually kind of relieved. It is not my job to solve that problem. If I was the one putting in the system, I probably wouldn't have put in such a complicated system. I would have, I'm old school, so I would have gone with something completely analog with a simple mixer with actual knobs. But a lot of people would tell me I'm an idiot for going with something that analog when there's more modern, better solutions. But when I put in simple analog systems like that, they work. And I mentioned in another vlog, I put in a system like that for my daughter's elementary school a few years back. Worked fabulous. I'm sure it's still working to this day. In fact, I should go in there and maybe talk to the principal and just ask how it's holding up, because I haven't talked to Ben in a long time. But anyway, it just wasn't working at all. So yeah, I expect I'm not running through that system today. That was the last I saw of the system. Wrong connector on the wall and things not really working like they should work through the tablet. So I was just looking at the screen and seeing I'm 11 minutes of this video and thinking, God, I made amazing time up here. And then I realized that I remembered that my phone stopped recording at one point for no reason whatsoever, as far as I can tell. And I restarted it, so it's 11 minutes since it restarted. Which sucks, because I like that thing having me a timer to tell me, like if I vlog the duration of a drive somewhere, I like having that to show me how long the drive took me. I don't know. Lately, this drive seems to be taking like 30 minutes. It feels like it went a little faster today. Since I was doing it, it's after 6, so it wasn't much. I mean, there's definitely traffic, but it wasn't like stop and go rush hour traffic. And not too many idiots on the road cutting me off doing that sort of thing, so yay. Anyway, so yeah, I even if he's got the sound done, I'm not even going to try to connect to it tonight. I'm just going to do the show completely through my own stuff. Now, if the connector on the wall has been replaced with the correct gender one, I may mess with it a little bit after close. And even if it hasn't, I may mess with it a little bit after close, depending on how I'm feeling. But yeah, as far as the show tonight, definitely running through my own PA. So I got my 2 Samson powered speakers in here. I've got my Jamo subwoofer with me. Oh man, I should have shaved. I am so scruffy looking tonight. Damn. Oops. So worried about making my gear look good. I didn't even put any effort into myself. I need to be more cautious about that. I'm kind of an upscale Scottsdale sort of place. I really should have shaved. Oh well, a little late to deal with that now. Hopefully my talent will outshine my physical appearance. Anyway, I'm here. What if there's a sign up yet? I see one for Rubio's. Oh, there is a sign that says Union Jack. Well, and there's also a really unattractive looking bit of I don't think there's anything they can do about that. Boy, it's not pretty though. A ventilation shaft or something on top of the patio. Oh well. I need to just get that out of my mind, because that is definitely not my department to deal with that.